Flosstube. This is Melissa, the Cupcake Stitcher, and I'm coming back to you for my next video. I didn't look to see what number we're on. I think we're on number like 12, 13, somewhere in there. Today is Sunday, June 16th. It is Father's Day, so I want to wish all the fathers out there that are probably reluctantly watching this as their wives are playing it a very happy Father's Day. If you are new to my channel, I want to thank you for stopping by, and please let me know how you found me. Like I said, especially if this is your first time. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back and putting up with me. I think my last video was May 4th or 5th, somewhere around there. I've wanted to do a video for a little while, I just haven't found the time. And if you ask me what I've been doing, I can't tell you what I've been doing. It's just been busy. I've had some cupcake orders, no cake orders, maybe one. I can't remember. Guys, I have no idea what I did yesterday, let alone what I've done in the last month and a half. So, a couple cupcake orders, work, of course, always working, right? And then whenever the weather has been nice, I've been trying to do some yard work outside. I specifically bought my house because it had a small yard and I hated yard work and I didn't want to do anything. And now I have a small yard and I go all out. I don't know why, but it's like my new thing. So I've planted lots of flowers this year. I went to an actual nursery. I also have gone to Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. I've gotten flowers from all of those places. But then I went to a nursery in Columbus and I spent probably like $200 on flowers and rose bushes and all these things, and I don't really know how to take care of any of them. But I have not wasted anything. All of my plants are still alive. Some of them have only been in the ground for about a week, but they're not dead yet. So there's that. What else has happened in the last month and a half? Oh, we had Crock Friday. The Friday after I would have recorded my video. So I took half day, went down to Cincinnati, shopped at Keepsakes a little bit, and then followed Steph over to her mom's house, well, their house. And then we had dinner. It was great. They made like a buffalo lasagna. It was really good. And then I made I do a chocolate cupcake with cookie dough frosting, and I made it into cake form. It was pretty yummy. It looked pretty too. If I remember, or if I think about it, I'll post a picture of the cake here. So if you saw it, you saw it, and if you didn't, then you just saw me awkwardly pause, and now I'm gonna move on. So what else has been going on? I don't remember if I told you guys last time, we got a facility dog at work. So it is a specially trained dog. Normally they're about 2 years old. The dog that we have at our facility, she is 4. So she was trained. She was placed with a family of a little girl who needed medical assistance from a dog. And unfortunately the little girl passed away. And so the dog, I mean, they spend tens of thousands of dollars training these dogs, boarding them, medical fees, all of that, this company. And so the family decided that they would return the dog back to be placed with a new family or a new, person, a new handler, because she only worked for about 2 years, and she still had all this training that she had, under her belt. So work morale is pretty high when you have a dog in the office. I don't know if any of you do, but she's like the saddest looking dog ever. She's a black lab. She's really tiny. She's a small black lab. But she just always has like a sad look on her face, but she's super calm. I get to like sit on the floor in the office sometimes and pet her and rub her belly. You can't beat work morale with that, with a dog in the office. So I don't really know what else is been going on. Like I said, just been busy. So if you're still hanging with me, hopefully you are. I don't think I've been jabbering for too long yet. Please make sure you stay all the way to the end because I'm going to go over something about StitchCon. Especially if you're not going to StitchCon, I want you to stick around because I'm going to try and bring StitchCon to you, or at least one of you. And yeah, so I have multiple piles over here. Let's start with whips. I've worked on quite a few since you last saw me. All my stitching, I've still been kind of sticking with magical stitches, doing what I can for homework. There's certain pieces that I've tried to work on more than others, just because I want to get some of them done. So the first one I have is a Seasons in Chalk, Stars and Stripes. Looks like I have worked on this for one project, a homework assignment, and put about 200 stitches in. So that's the original chalkboard design by Priscilla Blaine. And then this is the chart that Kathy Hagerman based off of it. Super cute. This is probably one of my favorite in the series. And this is where I'm at. Whew. My new location, I guess, is not conducive to black fabric. So let's try that again. So this is where I'm at. I think I put in most of this flower here. You can see I still have some working threads that just came out of the needle. It is what it is. You guys know that I'm never prepared. I'm always a hot mess. And I appreciate you guys sticking through with me. And I have picked this new location. One, because it's about the only place where I have stitching displayed that I could figure out where to put my kitchen table at. So I have my spring Seasons in Chalk right here. Jaffe Climbing Stitcher, I know you tagged me in a comment this morning on Instagram. She just finished winter, and she had a lovely finish. She did like a white frame, I think with like a gingham blue, it was blue and white, backing fabric, and then she had her piece on top of that with the magnets and washers. I eventually plan to do that with this. I'm doing 6 of the 7. The only one I'm not doing is the Halloween. I think I've talked about this before. And so I'm going to wait to get some kind of backing fabric. So right now I just have these in the frame with the fabric. I change them out. And when I say in the frame, I literally mean it's just in there by the backing, and I have it taped down. That's how I have it finished, Jaffe. I'm a slacker. But I just want to find backing fabric that will work for all of the designs, so I don't have to change that out, and then I can just do the washer magnets, slap it on there when it comes time to change out the seasons. So we're still on spring. I have summer in here in my whip pile. It's one of the ones that I've been working on quite a bit lately. So yeah, so I got this frame at a store called At Home, and it was green, like an aqua-y, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the color. Oh, there we go. It was like an aqua-y green, which I liked, but I decided to paint it with the chalk paint in a soft gray. Because my walls, as you can see, are already like a minty green. So that's where this sits, right underneath my clock. It doesn't actually work. So if you're trying to watch the time, that minute hand is never going to move around. It ticks, but doesn't move. I don't know if it needs new batteries or what. It's been that way for months, and I just haven't touched it. So that was my first one, Seasons in Chalk. I think I used that for, it was one where we had to do multiple colors, trying to pick which champion for the Tri-Wizard tournament we were cheering for, and so you had to do all 4, and then you got an extra one to pick, an extra 200 stitches to decide who you were rooting for. I can't remember who I was rooting for. It was probably Cedric Diggory, which would have been yellow, because I wanted to use it on my summer Seasons in Chalk. Let's see what I use this one for. So I use this one. This is Yule Queen by Primitive Hair. And this specific challenge was for SPEW, which is an organization for the protection, something about the house elf welfare society of some sort. So I use this for P because we had to go based off of the designer, like the design company, the actual designer's name, first or last name, or the title of the piece. SPEW. I think this is the week that I only got like 2 of them done, maybe 2.5, but the last one didn't count because I didn't complete 200 stitches, and I didn't complete 200 stitches because it was a finish at about like I think 160 or something like that. So this is Yule Queen. I started her last August, August 1st with Mitch Stitch from Australia. We both bought this at StitchCon last year. We saw it as a model at Keepsakes. We both loved it. And so we started it as a Sal on August 1st. She has hers done. Michelle Bendy jumped in. She has hers done. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that doesn't have it done. And I don't even have like much of it done at all. So I added, I think this was again 200 stitches. I think I did 203 is what that says. And so I'm stitching this on 32 count Shenanigans by Seraphim Fabrics, and this is in Lugana. This is gonna get real blurry, isn't it? So I did some more of her dress down here. I've been stitching diagonals of these little like shapes just down the row, so you can see I have a little bit of her head. And so this was for Project P. Primitive Hair. Next is Seasons in Chalk Art Summer. I've used this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different challenges or extra credits. So here are my little Post-its. And anything below this line is what I did. So you can see my notes are real descriptive, but how many stitches I did. So if it says HW, if it was a homework assignment, 4 point whatever, so that's year 4 week something, and then I wrote like a real quick description of what it was. So most of those don't even make sense. And then you can see EC up here is extra credit. So I used it for 2 extra credit pieces, something you would find in a maze, which bees and flowers you can find in a maze, something with words. This has summer on it. 4.3 was yellow. So that was, you had to stitch, like I said, 1 for each of the competitors and then whichever one you wanted to win. So Cedric is on there twice, 4.3, 4.3. So I did 201, 218. SPEW. This was the S that I chose. That was 500 stitches. 500? 200. I'm looking at it in the phone and I was seeing a 5. And then I used it for the dragon egg assignment where you had to retrieve the dragon egg and dragon egg. I don't know how you guys put up with my shenanigans. And so I said that I was enchanting a horde of bees to distract the dragon so that I could get the egg. And so I did 1,000 stitches with that. So this one has seen quite a bit of progress. I'm really hoping for a finish this month. That way I can put it in my frame with my sticky tape. You guys are probably judging me hardcore, but that's just how we roll. So I can't remember where I was exactly last time I showed you this, but I'm getting close. So summer, the word is almost done. I just have a little bit of yellow left to edge around here. I have, I think, 2 more flowers. 3. I have 3 more flowers because there's 1 at the top up here in the corner, 1 at the bottom, and then 1 in this area. The bees are done. And so that's all I have left is the flowers, a vine that connects them, and then a little bit of yellow there. And then this one will be done. So I can't remember if I'm going to try and fit this. I haven't really looked at this week's project or this week's assignment. I think it's another one with colors. So yellow might be one of those colors. Red, which I can use that as red. I can use that as green if green's one of them. So I can use this for quite a few. I think the other two are brown and blue, which are about the only ones that won't work for this, but it will work for my other piece that I'm trying to focus on. So that one's kind of on a not necessarily on a deadline, but I would like to have that one done really quickly. This is the one that's on a deadline, and I don't have a picture of what it'll look like when it's done. Sorry. I'm talking too much. So I'm working on this piece for my best friend. We just had a diaper party for her this weekend. It was a great night. It was Friday night. I got someone to take my last patient, which was fine because it was actually her patient and not one that I've ever seen. And so I got to leave a little bit early, which again never happens, especially on a Friday. I kind of felt bad that my friend took it, but like I said, it was her patient. I'm pulling all these loose threads off. But we had a diaper party for her, and her little one is due July 31st. I think she's going to find out this week when her C-section is going to be scheduled for. She has one girl right now. She's having a second little girl. So first one is, her name is Monroe Marie. And then baby number 2 that is due, that I'm making this for, is going to be Willow Jean. So she's been, I've known her since middle school. I was maid of honor in her wedding. We're probably better friends now than we were in high school. There's kind of another girl that I was really good friends with in high school, and then when I got out of high school, I realized, I went away to college. We went to 2 different colleges, and we talked a lot the first year, and then things kind of dwindled. She still tries to talk to me, but we don't really have much in common anymore, and I realized she wasn't a great friend. But my friend that I'm making this for is like an amazing friend. So she doesn't like my cross-stitch friends, though, because she's jealous that I have other friends. I'm totally just kidding, but not really at the same time. So she is a huge Disney fan, and so I wanted to make something for that. And I found this pattern on Etsy. So it is the Disney Castle. You can see I have the top part of this done. I use this, I don't know where it's at. I use this for something. I think I used it for blue, and I worked in some of the blue stitches in through here. And then just recently, it was the one that we had this week. Was it this week? It was Stitch 1000, yes. So it was the Great Lake or Black Lake, the lake that sits on Hogwarts, the second challenge in the books. They have an egg, and the egg tells them they have an hour to retrieve something at the bottom of the lake. And it's something of great possession, like one of their greatest possessions or one of their favorite things. Spoiler alert, if you haven't read Harry Potter, it's like their best friends or boyfriend, girlfriend, something along those lines. And so you just had to pick your favorite whip, and the house elves were stealing it, and to get it back you had to stitch 1000 stitches. So I chose this because, one, I love working on this fabric. I think this is Beachcomb. Under the Sea Fabrics by Leslie. I think she's going to be at StitchCon, and I'm going to buy a bunch of her fabric if I can get it. Last year her fabric went like crazy. So this is Beachcomb in, I think, Lugana again. 28 count. I'm stitching it 3/2 because I'm a coverage nut. And I changed out a few of the colors. If you want my conversion, just let me know. But most of it's pretty straightforward or the same. I just brightened up some of the colors so they didn't blend into the pink quite as much. I think I changed some of the pinks, and then some of the blues were like matching like this color and this color, which already are pretty close. And so I think I changed out like it to more of like a tealy blue, something along those lines. I have it all written down, so if you want it, let me know. But in the middle here, you can kind of see a Mickey ear, and so there's another one over here, and so there's a Mickey shape in the bottom of the castle. So I worked pretty much this whole section over here. I am done with this kind of background color, the main color, and so I just have all these little fill-ins. So this is kind of the bottom of the side of the castle, and so I'm making steady progress on this one. And I love how it fades. I have like a whole yard of this fabric because I love it. And so I kind of cut it so it was like a gradient. And this is an opalescent fabric too. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. So I love this one. Like I said, I love working on the fabric, was one of the reasons why it's my favorite. And then the other reason is because she's my best friend, so she's one of my favorite people. And this is for her and her little one. This project, I don't have all the stitches done yet, so I pulled this out yesterday, for an extra credit assignment, which is stitch on something that can be found in the Black Lake, or I can't remember if it's Black Lake or Great Lake. I want to keep saying Black Lake. I read the book multiple times, but I'm blanking right now. And so you had to stitch on the object, 500 stitches on the object that you could find in the Black Lake. So I picked this because pretty much anything on this piece could be found in the Black Lake. I'm gonna keep calling it Black Lake. I hope you guys don't mind. So a mermaid you can find in there, seaweed, sand, water. I have all the border-ish stuff done, so that's fine. So I didn't get quite 500 stitches done on this yet. I'm gonna finish this tonight. Probably while the video is uploading. And so I did, there we go. So this color blue in here, you can see it's filled in over on this side, but not on this side. And so what's nice about this piece is it tells you exactly how many stitches are in each color. So this one has 510 stitches of this blue here. And so I was like, well, that's just great. Because now I know, like, I'm just going to finish that color and then I'm pretty much going to be done. So there'll be 500 stitches, and this was about 310, 311. That'll be super easy. Crank it out and then move on to another extra credit. I'm going to try and get all the extra credit done for year 4. I did not get all the extra credit done for year 3, but I did all the reading assignments. So, and this time I've only gotten like 2 or 3 of the reading assignments done. My last whip before I get into new starts, which I have quite a few because I have no self-control, is my Rapunzel. I did not grab my post-it note, and it's over somewhere on my couch over there, as to what I stitched on this for, but I will show you my progress. This one hasn't been off the Q-snap in a while, so it's a little wrinkly. Please don't judge me. The fabric is super thin on this one. I love this fabric though. This is a silk weaver. It is a 36 count even weave. I think it's like Molino, or again, it's over there somewhere. You guys can always tell how prepared I am. So I wanted to start on her dress first because her dress is pretty intense. It's a lot of solid stitching of just blocks of color. So I figured if I can get that done, which this is a nice piece to pull out if I'm kind of on a time constraint, if I can make it work for my homework, because I can knock out 100, 200 stitches in like 3 rows of this thing sometimes. But I have that much done. I haven't put in any of the back stitch. There's a ton of back stitch, ton of beads, metallic. So this is all I've done, is primarily her dress, and then a little bit of her hair over here. You can see the outline of her hand. But yeah, so this is Smoky Pearl, something along those lines. Again, if you guys really want to know, just leave me a comment below. I was actually really good about commenting on people's posts last time, for the first time ever. So good. I think I commented on everybody's, or at least gave it a like that I read it. So I'm going to try to be better. And I'm actually going to have to be better because, like I said, stick around because I'm going to talk to you guys about StitchCon. So those are all of my whips that you would have seen before. Let me tidy this up here. So, new starts. I think I have 4 new starts, and one of those is actually a finish as well. So I have one more whip that was a finish too. Kind of nice that I'm not just throwing things on my couch next to me. So my first new start was a piece that I got at Stitch Away. It was a kit, and it is Heart and Hand Gratitude. And I loved this fabric. Gratitude makes everything go. So they gave you pretty much everything except the floss in the kit to make this little pillow. And I used this for one homework assignment, which was to work on whip 17, which I put it on my whip list for Magical Stitches as a whip, even though I technically hadn't started it, but it was on there, and I was like, if for some reason number 17 comes up, that'll be the one I have. And that was the one that came up. So I was super excited to start this. It was like 700 stitches in it, and I got 700 stitches in it, and it's almost done. So I'm going to try and finish this one, I think, at Stitch Away. Stitch Away. I bought this at Stitch Away. At StitchCon, I think I'm going to try and knock this one out because I'm really close, guys. I did change one thing, and that is the color of the words. It's supposed to be in Wood Trail by Gentle Art. So it's supposed to be brown, and I didn't like that. So I changed it to, I think it's Tartan Plaid by Classic Colorworks. And it matches the fabric, the green in the fabric, perfectly. And so I love it. I'll still do, I think there's still a little bit of brown in like the flowers maybe. I could also be making that up. I'm making that up. It's fine. I don't even think I bought the Wood Trail because I was like, I'm going to do it in something else. So all I really have, I think I was just going by, so I started with the words and then I was just going by color. So there's still a little bit left to do in here, and one of the bigger flowers up in here. So like little things and then some beads, and then that's it. So I love this one, guys. I need to get back to doing it. Like I said, that might be a StitchCon. That way I can just knock it out. So new start number 1. New start number 2. I took this down to Keepsakes when I went for First Friday. Crockpot Friday. I bought this at Stitch Away as well. Erica Michaels' Ask, Seek, and Knock. I used it for my homework, again with the challengers. This was for the Perfector Crumb, which was brown, and so I started on that. And when I took it down to Keepsakes, they put it in a frame for me. So it is on 40 count gauze, which I have never done before. And so it is like a tent stitch or a continental stitch. I can't remember which way I'm doing off the top of my head because I'm in front of the camera. And so we had to stitch 200 stitches. And this is not going to focus, but these are, oh, there we go. It actually did. Look at that. These are the world's tiniest stitches ever. They are so small. So small. So that's part of the door. Like this, that whole piece. It didn't fit on this little piece of fabric. Like when I saw all these models, and she has these as models. She has a bunch of them. I think I bought one other one. It was a Christmas one. I thought they were like printed pictures. And then I looked and I'm like, holy shit, that's actually stitched. Again, sorry for the language if you don't like it, but I cuss sometimes. Smarter people cuss. Did you not know this? So I did change out a few of the colors. or I'm going to change out a few of the colors just because when I was picking them out, I didn't really like some of them. Where are the ones? So I'm going to use this. I bought like a sampler pack of Dinky Dyes, small cuts. So this is Shades of Wine, and I'm going to use that for, probably can't see it, there's flowers in here that are blue, and then there's some down in here. I'm probably going to change the words too because it's a lot of brown, and I'm not a brown girl. So that was one of my changes, Shades of Wine. I picked out this one. This one doesn't even, this is another Dinky Dyes. This one doesn't even have a tag because it's so little, which is going to be fine because I'm going to use it and this for two of my golds. I am going to try Chronic or Petite Treasure Braid on 40 count gauze. Has anyone done that before? Can you do that? I don't know. I'm going to try it. For like the door handle and some of the, there's like keys and stuff on the bottom. So we're going to use that. And we're going to use this highly variegated yellow. I really like that color. I think that was the only, those were the only substitutions I made. But yeah, Pebble, that was in there. Picnic Basket, Cocoa. Yeah, the rest of those were called for colors. I just did not like the colors that they picked for some of the other spots. So that was a new start. If you please hold on for 1 second here. I'm just going to throw those threads back in the envelope. And this was a new start yesterday. I've been dying to start this piece for a while now. I saw it first, I probably saw it on Flosstube somewhere, and then they had it as a model at my LNS here in Columbus, Cross My Heart. And they have several modifications, which I am going to do most of them. I also have some more of my own. So using some variegated threads here and there. I'm also using the glow-in-the-dark Chronic for certain spots. So hopefully when that's all done, I'll be able to take like a short little video. I don't know if it'll work. I've gotten the threads to glow, so, but I've never stitched with those. It took me forever to kind of decide on fabric. I thought I had something picked out that Katie Glass gave me at StitchCon last year, and I just kind of sat on it. And I was like, it's just not what I want. So when we went up to Craft Gallery back in April, the Whistle Stop gang, we met up there, or I met them up there, they all drove, and then Candy met us as well. I picked out some fabric, and so did Pam. So we're both going to be stitching this at some point. I believe hers is kitted up and ready to go. I don't know if it's on her new start wheel or not, but this is what I got done yesterday. So I started on the railing of the boat, and so those little divots are where the skeleton's hands are. So far there's been no modifications made, but this is on, I knew I was going to do that, Tarnish, PTP Tarnish, 32 count. So I wanted like a greeny gray blue, which it's definitely more greeny gray, but it does have a blue undertone to it. So I think it's going to work. I do need a different needle minder on there. I love that needle minder, but it doesn't really work for this piece. And so I'll kind of talk about my modifications as I work on them, but I picked that one for one of the extra credit assignments, which was a mode of transportation to stitch 500 stitches. And so this is a boat, which is a mode of transportation. So I did 513 stitches on that yesterday. The one thing I want to look for at StitchCon for this piece, and I want to make a modification that was not a modification that was done at Cross My Heart, were the sails. So it's called for is 3865 DMC. I think I want more of like a weathered sail look. So like a linen, something variegated. Last year they had color and cotton threads. I'm really hoping they do this year. And if not, I know Steph said that eventually they're going to get those at Keepsakes regularly. I think this summer after StitchCon. So I'm going to look to see if there's like a linen-y or parchment kind of thread. I'm losing my words, guys. I haven't done this in a while, like always. So there's that. And then my last new start was my StitchCon Small, and I think I showed this to you. So I was gifted to this by one of my Instagram followers. This is a limited edition hands-on design where the stitching meets the sea for 20 years. And I think it's the Pals Retreat. So I don't think this one is for sale on her website or anything like that, but it's a cute little Adirondack chair and cross stitch. I forget what I did. I remember what I did. So it's supposed to say on this piece I stitched as is. I do not have the little sandcastle charm, but I do have this little shell, which is supposed to be used on this one. So I'm going to use this one here. That's the only thing I haven't put in. And then I changed stuff up. I put a little sandcastle down here, and then up here I put StitchCon 2019. So I kind of personalized it. Otherwise, called for colors and stuff like that. This one had some Smyrnas, which I love. And I don't think I'm going to give this away just yet. I want to go back to Hobby Lobby because my idea is to finish it with this fabric here. So one of these, let me just show you this first. So here's the first one. So this is the one where I put in a little sand castle down here, the little flag. I love that. And then StitchCon 2019. This is like probably one of my favorite colors I've ever used. It's not highly variegated, like at all, but I love this color. This is Aztec Red by Weeks. I also like these ones. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head though. Capri, yeah. The lighter one is Capri, pointing with my middle finger. And then I think the other one is Deep Sea. Yes, both by Weeks. I love Weeks Dye Works. I know other people don't, but they're probably one of my favorites. I love their colors. And then, I guess I did make one other change. This color here, I don't know if it's going to focus, but the words and then the sandcastle was done in the Dinky Dyes, and I don't remember what it was, but it was again from that sampler pack that I got just to try out. I love stitching with it. It's super soft. I never understood, like I've felt silk before and I'm like, it doesn't really feel that soft to me, but when you stitch with it, it like glides through like butter. I loved it. So yes, so I'm gonna finish both of those with this. One is going to be a pillow. I still don't know which one. This is just like a grayish plaid, small plaid pattern. The other one is going to be flat. And I found this at Hobby Lobby. And so one of the pillows is going to sit up here in the chair. And then the other one I'm going to put right on the front. Like this was made to have a cross stitch piece on it. Was it not? So if I can find, I only bought one at the time, and that was dumb. If I haven't gone back to Hobby Lobby in a while, but if I can find another one of these, I'm gonna make it for myself. I was not fully done stitching it, this yet, and these pieces like took me like a day. Like I think I started on Sunday, and I think I had both of them done by like Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't even know if I had started stitching them when I bought this, but I think they're going to look really cute on there. if it's way too cute and I can't find another chair, I may not give it away. I actually will, but I'm really hoping that I can find another one of these. Right now this is just sitting up here on display. There we go. So that was my first finish. I still have to fully finish it. And then my last finish was a whip that I have been working on. So I cranked out this one. This I also used for spew. So this was E because it's called Ellis. And I think, like I said, there were maybe like 150, 160 stitches out of the 200. And that's all it had left. And I wasn't going to start the next one. So it didn't count, but I got a finish out of it. So it doesn't matter. Because that's all that really matters in the long run. So this is, I'm not doing it on the perforated paper. I'm doing it on 28 count Witching Hour by PTB. Linen that I bought at, so I started this one at Stitch Away. He's super cute. I love him. So, a little neat needle minder that I used to have on my Day of the Dead piece from Angela. Gibbs Girl. So, I love this. I love the little pumpkins. He's a super happy ghost. I like the petite braids as the border, and then on the inside, I loved the stitching. I think it was called a double herringbone stitch. So it was like two big X's like interlocked. I don't know if I can, how close I can get to that. Kind of, sorta. It's still blurry. Just knock out my face. There we go. So you can kind of see that those are interlocked giant X's. And then the bead work on it. Tons and tons of beads. So I'm going to do all three. I have a ton of fabric. I'm still deciding if I should do them all as individuals and put them in 3 separate frames, or like a frame with 3 openings in the mat, or if I should just do them all together with like not as much fabric between. Let me know what you guys think I should do, because I mean I have a ton, so I could do them all individually, but let me know what you think. Okay, so that's my second finish. Second or third, depending on if you want to count the stitching, where the stitching needs to see as 1 or 2. But so that's the first one. I have the second ones, which are Essence and Eerie. So this one has a little black cat, and like my favorite thing about this, sorry I'm getting lighting and reflection there going on, is that these don't really have a lot of colors. Like it's white and black and then gray, because the cat's behind the ghost, so you can still see the outline of the cat. Like, attention to detail, people. Attention to detail. So I forget which one I like the best. I think this is the one I like the best, just because of that cat. I'm not a cat person, but it's just so cool. And then the other one, I like the swirlies on this one. This is Eerie. And so he's gonna go on the end. So I think I'm doing them like this. So I think that's the order that I'm going to put them in, no matter what I do. So we have Ellis, Essence, and Eerie. I think that's what people helped me decide the order to put them in. So because I am not doing it on the perforated paper, once I am done with all 3 of these, that will be a giveaway with whatever beads and floss I have left. The floss is just DMC, so you may not have a bunch of that. And I think they use the same beads. The ones that have maybe the different colors, hopefully there's enough. You might have to buy some extra beads, but there was still quite a bit left in this first set. It's not quite as full as the other ones, but there's still a good number. So that was my second finish that I just said like 5 times. So I got all that done. So that's all the stitching. And then purchases. So when we were at Crock Pot Friday, Katie Glass pulled out this light. And this is like the greatest invention ever. So I'm taking this to StitchCon. I might pack because I have a clip-on light, and so right now it clips onto my coffee table, because my coffee table which is like the greatest kind of coffee table you can have. And so I like that, but obviously, you know, it's got a cord. This one is cordless. It runs off of an internal battery, and you just leave it around your neck. And I'm going to turn these on. I don't know how bright they're going to be. There, you can already kind of see how bright they are. So it's got, that's the low setting. So they get brighter after that. Yeah, so it's got 3 different brightness settings. And then it's got a little port to plug it in. So it's just kind of a standard, you can't even see that because it's getting dark in here. A standard USB. I love this. It did not come with the case that I threw it in. That was like phone charger case that I ordered at the same time, and I was like, this is literally the perfect size. So I've been sticking it in that little drawstring bag with the charger. So that's definitely coming to StitchCon with me. That way I don't have to use my big light. I'm still gonna bring it. I'll at least throw it in my car. If I don't need it, it can sit in my car, but if I need it, I at least have it. And so also when I was down there, I did buy just a few things. I don't really have a ton today. I have a lot of fabric. I've been trying to work on building a stash. And so Keepsakes had some different fabric, which I'll show you. But I did buy one pattern from there. And this is a Roveris kit. And here it is. So it's like a little countdown. What is it called? I don't even think it has a name. 13 Days of Halloween is what I'm going to call it. Doesn't say. It really doesn't say. And so I think this one's really cute. It's got a really cute spider charm. There we go. No glare there. I think this one would be fun to just pull different floss from my stash, because it's done pretty much all in black except for the pumpkins up there. But it's 13 Days of Halloween, so it says 1 black cat, 2 scary rats, 3 little pumpkins, 4 little ghosts, 5 black cats, 6 bats flying, 7 scary spiders, 8 candy corn, 9 potion bottles, 10 witch brooms, 11 pots of boiling, 12 bolts of lightning, and 13 spooky moons. So like I said, I think this one would be really cute to do, like just pulling different floss. You can kind of make it your own, or you could do it all in black. I love just kind of how it's, like, it just looks like it was kind of handwritten. And that's what I love about it. Do you guys ever remember a time where I said, I'm not into Halloween? And now all the patterns I buy are Halloween. I don't know what Flosstube has done to me. So that was the only pattern about at Keepsakes. I have a few more from Cross My Heart. And then I bought, I think most of these are fat quarters. Fat quarter, fat quarter, fat quarter. Yeah, three fat quarters. And these are from Fiber on a Whim. This was, I think, a fabric designer that did maybe like, I don't remember what kind of fabric they were making, but Steph and Keepsakes met them, I think, down at Nashville Market, if I remember correctly, and they said, wow, we can definitely do cross-stitch fabric. So they had a bunch of different colors. Yeah, they're all fabric on a whim. So the first one is a Lugana. It's 32 count in charcoal. So it's a gray, but it's a very like greeny gray, which I like. So that's the first piece. So this is 32 count charcoal in Lugana. I definitely tend to stitch more on even weaves. I don't dislike linen because I have some linen here, but if I can get it in an even weave, I'm going to. The next one is 28 count slate, which this one is very green. I don't know if that's thunder outside or just a loud truck. I was really hoping you guys could not hear my neighbor's lawnmower because he decided to mow his lawn as soon as I started videotaping, and he never mows his lawn. Like, I'm always dying for him to do it, but the one time I don't want him to, he does. So this is slate, which this is kind of like a light green. I know the colors probably aren't coming up super well. Let me fold it back up. That might help. Ooh, got some little fuzzies on there. That's better. So it kind of matches my wall color. Look at that. Look how close that is. Dang, that's awesome. Yeah, so this is slate versus the charcoal, which is definitely more gray. And then the last one I got is a 36 count linen, and this is called Heather. So it's a grayish purple. Very pretty. I like this piece. I'm almost consider using this one for this piece. I think it would look cool on there, even if I just did black, even with some other colors thrown in the mix. It's like a soft Halloween purple. Guys, it's just so cute. So, I'll just show you all three. So this is Fabric on a Whim, and Keepsakes currently has it, or at least they did when I was there at the beginning of May. So Heather, slate, and charcoal. So if you like these, I'm pretty sure they can order those for you at Keepsakes. And then I did buy a few things from Cross My Heart when I went in there. Of course, I just needed one or two things. But like I said, I've been trying to build up my fabric stash. So I don't know what even size these are. It said on the package. But I bought, I think this is a 32 count. This is linen in navy. And then I think a 28 count Lugana in black. So some dark colors. I like to stitch on dark fabric. So I feel like this I got quite a bit more, or it's just thicker because it's an even weave and this is a linen. But yeah, so I bought two of those. Those were already pre-cut, so I don't really know what they were. And then they had a couple different patterns that I liked. They were having a trunk show of JBW Designs, and I'm obsessed with crowns right now. Who was it? Shannon Christine Designs is coming out with a crown sal. She uses a ton of metallics and beads, and I'm like, that might need to be in my cart at some point. But they had this cute little French country crown, and they stitched it like over one, I think on 28 in white on like a dark fabric, and it was stunning. It was so cute. Just a little small stitch, so I might just have a crown wall. I think probably in my closet, because that's where I get ready every day, right? And I'm a queen. So that's the first one. The second one is a Needle Bling Designs Hopes and Dreams. I would not normally pick this one up, but my dear friend Stephanie stitched this one. I'm not a big inspirational quotes person, and I know she is, but I just like this piece. I think last time I bought a lot of nautical stuff, and so I'm continuing with that. And so it says, keep your hopes afloat, let your dreams set sail. So I'm going to have to ask her what kind of changes she made, because I know she made some. That water is going to be changed for sure. I don't know. I just thought that one was cute too. And then last time I showed you, I had gotten some of the Cricut Collection seasons as gifts at Stitch Away. Yes, Stitch Away. From my good friend Kathy. And someone else had another one. But I got like 3 of them as gifts. And I was like, all I need is Autumn. And so I bought Autumn at Cross My Heart last time. And then I went to put it away, and I had Autumn. That's when you know your stash is starting to get a little crazy, is when you buy a pattern that you already have. I think that's the first time I've done that. I'm pretty good about remembering, like, I have that. I have one other piece, or it's a magazine. I have 2 copies of one magazine, but that's only because I bought the one magazine for the Seasons in Chalk, because those are in just cross stitch. Yes, drawing a blank here. Magazine through, I think they're in the 2016 editions, and so I needed to get all of them, and so I was buying them like one at a time, and then there was a listing on eBay that had like 4 of them. They didn't have all, and like I had just bought the one when this group came out, and I needed the other 3, so I was like, oh, whatever, it's still cheaper if I just buy this one. So, and the one had already come. So I have 2 copies of one of the magazines. I think I still do. I probably need to take that down to StitchCon to throw on the freebie table. But yes, so I already had Autumn. Moving on. And the one I did not have was Summer. And my dear friend Crystal at Stitching the Dream is working on this right now. She's made a bunch of changes, and then why do I always blank Megan? Megan, I don't know. Georgia. I'm just saying words now, and you guys probably all think I'm crazy. So there's a lovely stitcher down in Cincinnati who works at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. She's here for like med school or something. Megan, is it Megan? Why am I drawing a blank? But she's doing a conversion of this. I am going to write her Instagram below, because she is doing a conversion of this, and I am going to copy her. So I don't really love middle letters. Like, I don't really plant veggies or anything like that. I plant flowers. So like the little cherries are fine. But she made like one have water, and then one had an anchor, and then she made it almost like red, white, and blue with some fireworks. It's so cute. And so I already told her, like, I'm gonna copy you. And I don't know why I'm blanking on your name. Guys, it's late. I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm looking over there, like there's a clock, and the clock's behind me, and it doesn't work. So I now have the full set. That was like the longest explanation ever for this. And then the last thing, and I'm not really going to go through this, I'm just going to pull this open. I bought, I'm going to cover my address too. I bought a Stitchy box, countdown. So this was the Mermaid countdown box. And so it's got 30 days. I have 2 days left, 29 and 30. So the pattern, I haven't gotten to a pattern yet. I have been good, and I have opened these day by day. I really enjoyed the Stitchy box. Will I use everything in here? Probably not. It was just kind of fun to see what she groups together and what she picks out for you. So I have posted, because I was on it, the first 10 days. And I have the second 10 days grouped out that I probably need to post on Instagram, and then I'll do the 3rd day. So maybe I'll do this one right after while this is uploading. Maybe. I don't know, we'll see. And then this one in 2 days when I finish it, which is a lie, let's be honest. I'm a liar, guys. I'm horrible at posting things. But I have 2 more countdown boxes ordered. And so my question for you is, would you guys like to see me opening the Stitchy box? I know some people make videos like that. I kind of liked opening them each day. It's like a nice surprise to come home from work, like I have a present to open. Even if it's just like beads. Or like, let me go show you something that I've already posted on Instagram. So like I mean, it's just floss. It's a limited edition floss, but it's beautiful. Or, you know, a little charm or fabric, or, you know, it's just something small, open every day. What do you guys think? So I have two things. I can post them like I'm doing now, which obviously I'm a big slacker, and post them in 10-day increments, because normally the boxes are 30 days. Because you can fit 10 photos, I think, at a time in Instagram. So I could do it that way and post 10 in three different days in the month. My second option, which is the one I'm leaning towards most, would be to do daily Instagram stories, which I don't really utilize that feature a lot. So I think it might be good. And then I think you can group them all together. So I could do so the other two boxes I have coming are a royalty box, because sparkle, and then a pirate box, just because I wanted it. And so I could do like daily videos and then compile them all at the end, and then it would be like a permanent story. Or my third option would be just to open everything at once on video. So let me know what you guys would most like to see from a Stitchy box. And if you wanted me to do all of them at once, would you want me to do it like as soon as I got the box, or would you want me to do it like a little bit later so that I don't spoil surprise for somebody else? That was like my thing. I know some people do that and they put like, spoiler, don't watch, but it's kind of the fun thing of the countdown is like you open something each day. I don't know. I know a lot of other people be like, I'm opening that all right now. That's a pattern. I feel like this is a charm. Oh, already two things in there. Can't tell if they're connected or not. But yeah. So let me know on that. So, StitchCon. First thing about StitchCon, it's about a week and a half away. I'm super excited. I'm taking Thursday, Friday off. I normally have Wednesdays off, so Wednesday I'll pack, and then I'm going to plan on leaving super early unless my plans change. I haven't really talked to Katie Glass. I'm going to be staying with her, so I don't have to book a hotel, which is super nice. I'm going to save a little money that way. I could spend more time with Katie, and I get to see Katie's infamous stash room. Katie, I'm so excited. I don't even think you know how excited I am to see your stash room. Like, I'm so excited. So, like I said, going down Thursday morning. Probably try and be there about noon, maybe a little bit earlier. I don't know if I will go to Keepsakes during StitchCon. You know, there's going to be 400 people there coming from all across the country, and many of them have not been to Keepsakes. I have. I went there for the first time last year at StitchCon, and it is a beautiful shop. It's so unique. Like, you know, Pam and Steph have talked about it. Pretty Southern has done a video of it, a walkthrough. You know, it's an old house. It's an old farmhouse, and so it's can get a little bit cramped. I mean, they have patterns on every surface, on every wall. It can be a little bit overwhelming. And when I went last year to StitchCon, it got a little crazy in that house. I feel like they might have, I don't know if they were thinking of like doing windows or something for you to go to Keepsakes. I may not go just because I've been there before. I've been there several times. I pretty much go down there every time I'm in Cincinnati now. So I've been there. I'm kind of a claustrophobic person. Like, I don't really like huge crowds in tight spaces. It just makes me nervous. Like concerts. I hate concerts. I hate fairs. Oh, fair people. I don't. I can't do it. And so I might not go to Keepsakes. Words, people. They are hard. But they will have an annex at the convention center, and I am definitely planning on going to that. Okay, so I had to cut out and restart because what I'm going to say now, I did not say very well before, and it got confusing. So I'm stopping and restarting. And so I was talking about the annex, that I'm definitely going to go to the annex. I may not go to Keepsakes. But if you are not going to StitchCon, I'm going to bring StitchCon to you for one lucky viewer. So you have to do two things. One, you obviously have to be a subscriber. You have to be over 18. You guys know the rules, right? If you've ever watched Flosstube before, don't say giveaway, nothing like that. So if you are not going to StitchCon, I need in the boxes below your Instagram name, because this is how I'm going to communicate with you. And because I probably want to follow you. If you're watching me on here, I want to follow you at home. So you have to put your Instagram below. And then the second thing I need is, if you were able to go to StitchCon, what would you buy from the annex? So I'll probably spend like $30 to $40 or so, somewhere in there. I'm not going to set like a specific limit, because sometimes I like to splurge on people. But what would you buy? I know you guys don't know what's going to be there, because I don't know what's going to be there. I might have some idea, because I went to StitchCon last year, of the types of things. So last year they had fabric, they had notions, they had patterns, you name it, they had it. And so project bags, I know there's going to be project bags there. I know there's going to be some fabric. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some threads. And then what would you buy? What do you need? Do you need something? And I'm going to buy you some stuff at the annex. Like I said, I'm not going to go, that will probably change, but my plan right now is not to go to Keepsakes. My plan is to just go to the annex, because I don't need to honestly spend any more money at Keepsakes. And because I want other people to have the opportunity to go and see it with at least maybe one less person in the house at a time. So if you're not going, Instagram name and what you would buy from the annex. So would be like your number one thing. Leave it below. Give me some ideas what type of stitcher you are. So if you like to stitch bright and colorful pieces, if you like more prim, if you like certain designers, just give me an idea of what you like. And I will probably pick a winner either Wednesday night or Thursday morning before I get down there, or like right when I get there. And then I'll communicate directly with you. I plan to do a video after StitchCon, which I said that last year, and then I didn't do it until like the end of July. I think it was the last like StitchCon update. But yeah, so Instagram name, and then Wednesday and Thursday, be on the lookout for like a message from me, Cupcake Stitcher on Instagram, about, and I may even kind of ask you your preferences and stuff that if you didn't give me. So what would you buy? Instagram name, and what would you buy at the annex if you had a chance to go? And I'm going to try and bring StitchCon to one of you. So I will also try to be pretty active on my stories. I don't use those features a lot, like I've already said, but that would be the perfect time. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go on Flosstube, StitchCon, the website, and look at the Flosstubers and see, if you follow some of them. I'm going to guess that quite a few people are going to be doing Instagram live videos or Instagram stories about StitchCon. So don't feel like if you can't go, you're completely left out, because one of you will be getting some stuff from the annex, and all of you have the opportunity to follow people on Instagram. So that is where I'm going to sign off. That was a much more condensed version, less complicated than what I said before. And if you thought that was complicated, what I was saying before, I went back and watched it and I was like, what was I even saying? Yeah, this was a lot less complicated. So Instagram name, what you would buy in the annex. You can tell me designers stuff that you would hope that would be there, what types of fabrics you like, if you want a fabric, or if you're like a project bag, do you want something like specific? Do you like floral patterns, geometric? Do you like Halloween themed things? Do you like Christmas themed things? Let me know, and I'm going to try and pick some stuff out for you and send you a little goodie bag after I get back from StitchCon. Sound good? Okay. Like I said, that was a lot less complicated than I made it before. So I'm going to sign off here. I will see you guys all after StitchCon. Please leave comments, messages, and stuff below. I did really good last time responding to comments and at least liking them, letting you know that I was viewing them. And I'm going to try to continue to be good in that regard. So I will see you guys all next time. Bye.